Hello everyone, and welcome to our fourth video in the Nearpod series. In this video, we're going to talk about account settings. We're going to talk about organizing all the different lessons that you've brought into Nearpod, and we're going to touch base on a couple of other features like Immersive Reader. So for today, I would like for you to, we're going to start by taking a look over here on the top right-hand corner, and this is where your account features are. So if you click on your little person, and this is going to bring up different features for you. So if you want to add a picture, you can add a picture, manage different things in your account, etc. But what I want us to look at today are these lesson settings. So if you go ahead and click open on that, and once you're in here, this is going to give you some options where you can toggle different things on or off. And it will automatically default on the left-hand navigation bar. You'll notice to advanced settings. It automatically defaults to this. So as you're looking through here, you're going to notice that there are different features you can turn on or off within your Nearpod account. When you do this, these changes these features for students. And so it's really important, once you change these settings, these become your default settings. So I'm not going to read through every single one of them, but there are a couple that I want to draw your attention to. So the first one is this Enable Immersive Reader. It is in beta phase right now, and so this isn't, it may change up on you a little bit, but if you recall the Immersive Reader, it's a product by Microsoft, and what it can do is it can change text sizes for students. You can highlight specific lines for students. You can adjust the size of the text. You can turn on, if you want to have the different syllables, it will add syllables into the words. You can turn it on so that it recognizes the parts of speech, nouns, verbs, etc. And maybe most important of all is that you can use the Immersive Reader to translate a document for students into different languages. And you can do this by word, or you can do this by the whole entire document. It also provides a picture dictionary of each of the different words. So it's just for some of our students, this can be a really incredible tool to be able to explore learning. So I would encourage you to turn this on. There will be a separate video in the choice board that is going to talk all about the Immersive Reader. So if you want to know more about that, I would strongly suggest you go to the choice board and take that video. All right, but I will encourage you to turn this on. All right, and then look through a couple of other things. Enable student notes. I would strongly encourage you to turn this feature on. And I will, in fact, go in and show you what this is going to look like today so that you can see the note features as well. So look through here. Know that this is where your settings are. If you want to change your profile information, you can click on that right here. If you want to change your password, things like that. All of this is found under your little picture icon. All right, so let's go ahead and let's go back to our main page. So again, I'm going to click on my Nearpod icon, and this will take me back to my home page. Now, before we move on to organizing the work that you have stored up in here, I'm going to go ahead and pause this video, and I would like for you to take 5 to 10 minutes and go over and play with your settings. If you want to add a picture in there, read through each of those different settings that you can toggle on or off, though, because you never know when somewhere down the road you might say, I remember seeing that feature somewhere. So it's just a good idea to take some time to do that. So we'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about how to organize your lessons. See you in a bit. Welcome back. All right, I hope that you enjoyed getting to look at all the different settings that are available, and that gave you some ideas for some things that you can do with your students. All right, next I want to talk about how we can go through and organize all of these lessons. I don't know about you, but when I start getting a lot of lessons in here like this and I'm trying to find something, it makes it very difficult. And I can only imagine over time that these lessons are going to there's going to be a lot in there. So that can get a little frustrating. So let's talk about how you can set up folders. So notice at the top underneath my lessons that there's already 3 folders set up here. I can go ahead and create folders, and then I can start organizing all of my lessons accordingly. So before you step in and start doing this, I would really take a moment and just think about some naming conventions for your folders. How would it be easiest for you to be able to come back and find the particular lessons? Do you want to do it by unit? Do you want to do it by chapter? Do you want to just do it by topic? That kind of thing. So think about that. And then let's go ahead and let's jump into one of these. So on each of your different tiles, you will notice several different features. This is your presenting mode. So how do you want to present it to your students, which we're going to talk about in the next lesson. This is where you can come in and edit. You can preview this lesson, or with your three little dots, as is true with pretty much anything digital these days, that means there's more features. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And notice that I have many different things I can do with this particular lesson. So if I want to share it with specific teachers, let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to show you this. So let's see. Well, that's kind of weird. Of course, these things always happen at the worst possible times, right? That's not really what I want to show you. So I want to show you this one. Okay, so when you click on Share with Teachers, this is going to open up several things you can do. You can email this. You can, if you want to post it to social media, if you're in a Facebook group or something like that, you want to share your lesson, you can get a link for it. You can embed it. And then right here, if you want to just copy this link, this is a preview only link. So if you copy it and send this as a link, then whoever sees this is going to get it as a preview only. So that is your options to share. You can duplicate this lesson, so make an exact copy of it if you want to change things up a little bit from one period to the next period, things like that. You can do that. Now, if you're just duplicating the lesson and you want to duplicate it for first period, second period, third period, fourth period, this starts taking up a lot of space in your library, and so I wouldn't duplicate it to share that between periods 1, 2, 3, etc. Instead, what I would do is when you go to present your lesson, you will get a special code for it. And we're going to talk about this again, but you can set up several different codes. And so I would set up a code for period 1, a code for period 2, code for period 3, etc. And then it isn't creating 5 or 6 of these duplicate lessons into your folder. You still just have one, you just have a different presentation code. So just a little hint. So think about what you want to do when you duplicate it. Maybe you do want to change it out, significantly, or maybe you want to duplicate this lesson because you have 3 different levels of students that you want to reach in your same class with sort of different content on the same topic. That'd be a great reason to duplicate this as well. Okay. You can add this to, and this is probably the feature you're going to use most in here. If you want to add this lesson to your school library so that it's a lesson you want to share it out with other teachers in your school, you can add this to your school library. If this is something that you think would be a great lesson to have in the district library so that anyone in the whole district can use it, maybe you're a 5th grade teacher and you say, man, all the 5th grade teachers in the whole district would really like this lesson. Put it in your district library and share that out so that we can all share resources between ourselves. But the folder down here, this is how you are going to organize this according to what works for you in your personal library. So right now it shows me if I want to add it to a folder, I have these 3 folders already on my desktop. So I could click and add it to any of these folders, or right here, I can create a new folder. So if I wanted this to be maybe my test lessons, I could go ahead and do that. I could click create. And now when I come back, giving it just a minute, I see I am now in my test lessons folder. So this is my new folder. Come back, click on my lessons. And now we are back to our home page where you can see all of these in here. But now you'll notice that I've created a new folder. And now I have one item in that folder, and that's the one I just moved into there. All right, so let's go ahead and look at these 3 more dots again. You can export this as a PDF. So if you needed to be able to print this off for students who needed to have a non-digital copy, if you export it as a PDF, then you'll be able to print that off and be able to send that home to students as a printed copy. And finally, reports. If you want to come back and look at reports that have been created, you can come back and do this by clicking on this button. And we'll talk about reports. That's going to be one of those special little tiles. So if you go out to your choice board, it isn't in there yet, but it's going to be there shortly. You're going to find reports in there, and that's going to be under the how to use data to really hone in on your instruction. Okay, and then if you're tired of this lesson, you're like, it served its purpose, I don't want to use it anymore, you can just delete it right there. So those are the options that you have for each of your different tiles that are on your home page here. What I would like for you to do is to go ahead and take a couple of minutes and start organizing, put your lessons into different folders. If you want to start sharing things, see what it feels like to share it out to a school library, the district library, that kind of thing. So I think this is probably worth about 10 to 15 minutes of your time so that we can really make sure that we're starting to get things organized. And so that makes it really easy for you to go back and find the information that you want. So we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I hope you feel much more organized now. I need to go in and do this myself because I tell you what, I'm getting a lot of lesson tiles here on my dashboard. I want to show you a feature within, once your students get into a lesson, I want to show you about the note-taking feature. And this to me is pretty tremendous feature that is just kind of part of the program. So let's go ahead and take a look. To do this, I need to actually go into a lesson as though I were a student in the lesson. So I'm going to show you how to do that too. So here's my lesson. If I wanted to create a student-paced lesson, I can go ahead and click on this and it's going to give me a code. Now this is student paced. There's live lessons, there's student paced lessons. But I get a code, ENRAH. I can give this to anybody and they can go out and join my lesson as though they were a student. Now, in the next session, we're going to talk about how you can use Nearpod in Canvas because it works a little differently. You don't have to give students a code. They just automatically have it assigned to them through Canvas. So this is going to be a little different, but just to know that this is available to you in case you want to do something with teachers or things like that, you can do this. So here's the code. I've created that. And so what I need to do is I need to go out online to join.nearpod.com. join.nearpod.com. And then I'm going to enter that, ENRAH. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and join. And once I do that, you're going to see welcome to my lesson. And it should automatically, since I'm logged in, it automatically puts my name in there. And I'm going to go ahead and join the lesson. Now, after I join the lesson, I can start just going through the lesson because it is student-paced. So it's a self-paced lesson for myself. So the way I would go through the lesson is I would click on the little arrows on either side. And this is going to be able to give me the option to move through content. This little black arrow drop-down carrot here, this is going to give me a menu of things I can do. So you can see here I am. There's notes or there is to exit. So if I'm all done and I want to leave and come back another time to finish, I can do that. Now, you saw the notes there in the menu. There is also this little feature over here on the right. This is a note feature. I'm going to go ahead and open this note feature. And this comes with any of your Nearpod lessons. And I choose how I want the notes saved for myself as a learner. So as a learner, do I want these notes sent to me by email, in which it will tackle with, or it will send them to me by the email address that my account is signed up to. I can go into save these into my Google Drive, and it will create a copy and it automatically puts it in my Google Drive. It's really super cool. So, and then we don't use OneDrive. So I think this is probably my preferred method, and it would be if I was in the classroom, this would be my preferred method as well. So the students automatically have these in their Google Drive. But like I say, you have the option of email as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Save to Google Drive. And this is going to ask me to attach this to my Google account. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and allow Nearpod access. And this is on the approved list. Now what happens is it gives me some options for things I can do for taking notes. So if I'm on this particular slide and I want to take a note on this slide, I can start taking a note. Now I do want to caution you about something. This is not robust note-taking style. So if I wanted to click down here and I wanted to add, all these great little note things, it's not going to happen. It considers this all as one wrap text. And so when I get these notes on my slide in my Google Drive, this is all going to be wrap text. just so you know, not robust. But at any rate, just being able to take personal notes within here is, I think, just really fantastic. So I'm going to move myself really quickly over. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go over to the next slide. Now, when I go to the next slide, notice how I have a new box over here. So I can start typing in new notes. I come over here, I click to my next one, and now I'm on slide 4. What are the notes for slide 4? Move over to the next one. What are notes for slide 5? And so now what's going to happen when I go out into my Google Drive, and I'm not going to show this to you because I'm going to have you do this yourself in just a minute. But what happens is when I go out to Google Drive, you're going to have this presentation now as part of your drive, and the whole entire presentation downloads. And so you'll see a slide, and then right underneath the slide are my notes that I took when I was participating in this presentation. So just take a moment and just think about how you might be able to use that with students as they're taking notes. Do you want them to turn this assignment into you so that you're seeing that they participated in the whole presentation because they took notes on each slide and they made sense? So if you're doing a student pace, that could be part of the assignment. Is now I want you to turn in your notes, and you can create that in Canvas, a new assignment. Just turn in your notes from August 31st, and then you assign it as a Google upload, and they would just upload these notes to you from their drive. But having them take notes within here, just some different reasons that might be really helpful for your students' learning, and then they can go back and study these later. So depending on what the content of your Nearpod was, maybe you set a Nearpod up and this is a study tool for a big test that's coming up. And so them taking notes on that and different things like that. So anyway, I'm going to pause for a minute because I just want you to take just a second to think about what are some ways that this could be really helpful for you in your classroom, no matter what grade level or subject that you teach. All right, so I would normally post a discussion on that and have you write a discussion out, but I think this is already going to be a pretty intense lesson for you as it is. So I don't want to give more than an hour's worth for your clock hour. Okay, now we're going to go back to Nearpod. And what I would like for you to do is to write this down. So I'm going to actually have you go out to this lesson, and this is going to be part of the work that you do for this clock hour. So again, we went into student pace on whatever lesson you want to give. We generated a code. So I'd like for you to open a new browser tab, and you're going to go out to join.nearpod.com. And as soon as you go out to join.nearpod.com, then you're going to enter this code, ENRAH. So ENRAH. And once you enter that code, then you're going to go ahead and go through that lessons. What I really want you to experience is just take a look at the notes. You don't have to go through the entire lesson. Because we're really not focused on the content. I just want you focused on how the note piece works. So jot in a couple of notes on a couple of different slides just so that you can see what it looks like. And then what I would like for you to do is let's see, I would like for you to go out to your drive, and I would like for you to create a link. So this is going to be in your running document for this course, Nearpod number 4. I would like you to go out to your drive. Let me see if it's going to be in here. So here is, because remember I took notes in here. I wasn't going to share this with you, but I will actually after all. So here it is. You can see it's the title of that slide. It automatically is in my drive. Isn't that so cool? And so the whole presentation is here in my slides. And if I right click on that, I can get a shareable link. And I would like for you to get that shareable link. And I would like for you to paste that in your working document for clock hours for this course under video number 4. I would like for you to copy this link and then paste it into that assignment for me. Okay? And so that's the work for today. So just a quick review. What we did today is we went back through, I'm going to go ahead and X out of here. We went over and we took a look at how do you change your profile and how do you change the different features within your lesson so that students have access to different pieces. We went through and learned how to organize all of the different tiles and lessons within our library so that we have them in folders. And then we went out and took a look at a live lesson, and we were able to look at the note-taking feature and how that note-taking feature will can translate right into your Google Drive. So those are our big learnings for today. And again, if you're doing this for clock hours, just make sure that you copy that link and add it into our running document for this course. Thanks so much. I hope you're enjoying Nearpod as much as I am. And we'll see you in our next video where we're going to learn how do you push this out to students in Canvas. Bye-bye.